when I got to the point finally in my life where it's like, well, what is it like for me? Not how have I been told it's like by other people or spiritual books, but what's it like for me? And how can I come up with an image which captures the reality of the way it is? This image of lucid living came to me. It's been really helpful to me, and I find it very helpful talking to others, that this deep awake, this awakening, is like a lucid dream. And like in a lucid dream, you know, when you dream at night, you're lost in the dream. You think that's all you are, you think you're just the person in the dream, but you're not. When you dream consciously, you're still appearing to be that person in the dream is still going on, and yet you know that really you're the dreamer, and you're not even in the dream's in you. You're all of the dream. Everyone in the dream is you. You're experiencing it from this one perspective, but it's all you. And this oneness that happens when I come back out is like that. It's like I'm not experiencing life through your eyes or anyone else's eyes. I'm still just Tim, and Tim is just Tim. He's just a guy from the southwest of England who's, you know, had these experiences and has these quirks and neurotic tendencies and all the rest of it. And I'm aware that there's this big awareness, which is what I really am, and not just what I really am, but what everything really is. And so that's why it's like a lucid dream. It's lucid living, and I'm at both places at once. Here, the dream is in me, and here I'm in the dream. It's the polarity again, the opposites, and they coexist. Here it's all one. Here it's all many. Here I'm what? I'm kind of a spacious emptiness, awareness. Here I'm a thing, a body, an it. Here I'm an I. And it's that, oh. And what that does, I think, is it goes, look, this isn't going anywhere. This separateness is not going to disappear. And a lot of people, and I think I would include myself, get the idea that, oh, I haven't experienced oneness because the separateness is still here. I still feel like I'm just Tim. So I'm not experiencing oneness. Once you see that that is not going to change, what changes is you experience oneness as well, not instead. Both and, not either or. Suddenly you can go, oh, you're right, it is there. Here it is. This is a place where it's all one, and yet this isn't in the dream. It's all separate. And they coexist. And then that big space opens up much, much, much easier. And you don't have to change anything. You don't have to become a super person or saintly or, I don't know, stop thinking or something crazy, not have an ego, any of that. You're just you, just as you already were. You've just noticed there's this other thing as well. Now, when you notice that, this starts to change. But you haven't had to destroy any illusions or nothing. You've just noticed what was already there. It's the the complement to the duality. It's the place where, if I can't, the presence of awareness within which everything's arising is one with everything which is arising. Like a dream is one with the dreamer. That you can look at them one way and you could say, there's the dreamer, there's the dream, there's the awareness. You can conceptualize them differently, but you couldn't take the dreaming awareness and go, okay, that's over here and here's the dream, because the dream doesn't exist separately from the dreaming awareness. They exist together. And so the big mind, to use the Zen term, is identical with the flow of forms. It's in the Buddhist tradition, the Mahayana tradition reaches eventually the place where you separate nirvana, the emptiness, from samsara, the forms. But whereas Theravadan Buddhism tends to end there, and it's like get to the emptiness, Mahayana Buddhism goes, no. You find that samsara is nirvana, nirvana is samsara. The emptiness is the forms is the emptiness. Or to use my language, the dreamer is the dream is the dreamer. These are the same thing. And it's at that place where you look, there's one of us, if you will, dreaming itself to be everything, and then meeting itself in all these different shapes and forms, and either it's crashing up because it's lost in the separateness, or it's able to look through and go, hello, wow, there you are. You know, living lucidly, being in the both and, being aware of this place where you're safe. It makes massive, in one way it changes nothing. You know, there's a great line in the Zen tradition, I remember reading it when I was, my teens or 20s, where it goes, enlightenment, before, it changes nothing. And you think, well, why would you want to be enlightened then? But then it goes, but it also changes everything. You go, what the hell does that mean? But now I can see what it means. It means like this stays the same. Tim is still Tim, the chair is still the chair. I haven't developed superpowers. Alas, I can't fly. I wish I could. I'm not suddenly perfect. My past is still my past. My voice sounds the same. But as well, there's this presence, this oneness. And the way that oneness manifests is love. Because love is how oneness feels. When you experience oneness with somebody, and you love it. That's what love is. Or with an activity, or anything. When you're separate and not separate from something, there's this love. And so what I find is if I come out into this big space, whilst everything is the same, what happens in Tim is that Tim starts to be in love with it and to feel it in the body, like to breathe becomes like a really lovely experience. And I'm aware of how incredible that, just to touch my fingertips, it's, ooh, there we go. It's a very little thing, but it's very, oh my goodness, to meet another human being. Hello. Ooh. And there's this aliveness and this openness and this creativity, because Tim is very habitual. You could actually say Tim is just a whole amalgamation of habits. That's what he is, based on the past. He's a kind of running. But this is all possibility. This isn't in the forms. This is where all creativity lies. This is the chance for something brand new. It's the mystery. It's not knowing. As long as I'm in the known, it will just carry on. But when there's also the unknown, the mystery, the possibility, something brand new can just come in at any moment, and it can just, see, you're able to see things fresh all the time. One of my favourite things is just one of my favourite things is to realise I'm wrong. Having spent, like most people, I suspect, most of my life really liking it when I'm right, and hating it when I'm wrong, it finally dawned on me that actually being wrong was a far better experience, because when you recognise you've been wrong, you see something new. And the whole world becomes fresh and fantastic. It's like, oh, I'm wrong, far out, great. Oh, I love that, because you just discover something new. And this is a place where you can do that, because you can doubt, you can have mystery, you have possibility, and you can go, oh, look, there's a new way of seeing this. I can free myself up from just that way. So life becomes much more of an adventure, really. That's how it feels to me. There's an adventure here. And like all adventures, there's challenges. If there wasn't challenges, it wouldn't be an adventure. We want that. It's like watching a movie. Who wants to go and see a movie which starts with everything good and everything works out and then ends happily ever after? No one goes to see that movie. My mum might want to see that movie, but nobody else wants to see that movie. You want a movie where you're just transformed. And that's what life is. Life is a cathartic experience. And if you're just sucked into it, that can be terrifying. But if you're able to have this big space around it, then you can, like Bill Hicks says, the comedian, you can just throw your arms back on the woo, let's go.